you probably will already have that question. We have a generative AI, we have a large language model. Uh, can we use that? Of course we can use, but we also need to consider something else. First, is larger better? So you can see here is an article published in Nature. You can see they try to analyze different kind of model, large language model for mathematics. So you can see smaller one, medium one, larger one. So the larger one can actually perform in overall 50% success. And if we only consider basic algebra, that can even be 70. Looks good, right? Very good. Very promising. But just a couple of days ago, I tried to do this due to one of my students who is taking programming language, and we have in the programming language we usually doing the conversion, for example, from binary to decimal and so on. So in this case, we have a hash decimal, which means you have numbers from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F. So that is a hash decimal in case you don't know. So what is 2222 means in an integer? So when I Google that, you can see here is the Google right now has this AI overview. Of course, it says generative AI is experimental. So okay, do you trust this number 8706? I need to say that at the very beginning, I trust that. I say, okay, I can just give this to my student. But I try a little bit with our program. I found that no, actually I got a different number. A738, A706. What happened? They are different. Which one is correct? Of course, our program is correct because that is something you write your program, you convert it one by one, line by line. So at the end, you add all the four numbers, and that is A738. Okay, so that is the problem. So even you can see everything here, they are correct, but the combination is wrong. Okay, another good example is also from the nature. So this is also another group of researchers. They're trying to analyze different like GPT-3 and the GPT-4 and the Llama 2 and even bigger one like a Bloom. So in that case, they wanted to show you whether or not the larger model is better. So please consider this line as a separate line. Don't consider this is a radar chart. This is one line. And above this, the half dome here, the dome here is focusing on the correct answer. So C means correct answer. And then the other dome at the bottom of this line means they consider correct answer and avoidance, which means the computer try to avoid answering that question by saying they don't know. Okay, so they consider when computer they can tell you they don't know, which is also good sign. Not just giving you the correct answer, but also giving you they don't know answer. So consider what kind of things you want to see. You can see if we only consider correct answer, you can see the blue line here, that's represent the different blue line, the data, large language model. So you can see they are about 70% or maybe 60%, so something like that, or 70%, I would say 75%. Okay, and the darker blue is better, so which means the large language model, larger is better here. But But taking a look at here, you can see at the half bulb, another half dome here. Do you see similar situation? Yes, you see similar situation. But should it be similar? No, it should not. Why? Because right now, the equation is C plus A divide everything. Earlier, we only have C divide everything. Correct answer, divide everything. But now, at the second half, we are talking about avoidance, which means if you see the similar result, means large language model will not say they don't know. They will try to make up something, even they are wrong. So that is what they're finding. Very important things here. You can see even when we consider they are better, but when we consider avoidance, actually they are not really doing good job. They will try to answer everything for you. And by the way, if you also take a look at the difficulty means they when you think a problem is very difficult, they are not agree with you. On the other hand, if they say a problem is very difficult, but for a person, they are not really agree with that. So this number is very small. That is about 10% agreement. So that is another problem because computers seems to cannot be understanding the real difficulty. A problem is okay, now, so larger is not really better because they will not say no. They are so afraid to say no, just like a professor. You see, a professor in the classroom, they will try to answer everything, every question students they have. They don't want to say no. I don't understand what you are talking about because that makes them feel very bad and they are stupid. But I'm professor. I should know everything, right? No, that is not a really good things. You should know what you can do, should know what you cannot do. So in that case, many people they are considering to train small large language model. So in our case, we are also consider that. How about we allow teachers they upload their course materials, including supplemental materials, and then train their own model for their students. In that case, you don't need to worry about chatbot will talking something differently from your class, or you don't need to worry about whether or not they will talk the different theory other than what you taught in the school. So when you are in the management system, you can create your own course, you can have your course name, and you can choose your model. So the basic model is cosine similarity, which is more like a natural language processing, but we're still using neural networks to do the same thing. And you can opt out to use generative AI to rephrasing the words or using a retrieval augmented generation function. So what that means, you can see when you ask a question, the chatbot LLM will trying to answer that based on the top M related paragraph in the materials you provide. So the default number is 5, but the users they can choose anything they want. So you can see if we don't have a refreshing or RAG, then what you will get, what is computer networks? You can see basic network structure in unit 1, post 1. What is computer network? A network is a collection of computers and other devices. They are absolutely right because they are extracted from the course content you upload. But, but, do you think they are in good reading shape? Probably not, because they are just a copy from the textbook and they are not ending well. Why? Because we also allow teachers to upload their audio, their video. And in audio and video, you cannot really get a proper punctuation. You cannot really divide the content very easily based on the sentence or paragraph. So at the end, we decided to give up. We say, how about we use limited words? And in that case, we may have some result that is not ending well. Or if we are coming from the content from audio, that will no punctuation at all. So that is why, okay, let's using refreshing function. So if you are using refreshing function, then we will try to use generative AI tool to refresh the content. So you ask the same question, what is the computer networks? You can see now it says this document introduces a fundamental network concept, a computer network facilitate the real blah 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 blah. Okay, it's ending well. But it doesn't really sound that still doesn't sound like a computer is answering your question, right? So that is why we decided to also introduce RAG. So in that case, when you ask what is a computer network, it says a computer network is a collection of computer and other devices each, and everything is from you provided. We have evidence. Evidence is here. So we can provide you the citation where this answer is coming from, and that will better address students' question. You can see this screen at the bottom, actually that is Discord, which is a very popular platform that students or game players they are using. So we created our VIP bot using our chatbot LLM research, so people they can simply ask a question here, and of course they can also disable anything easily. So that is what I showed you earlier, what is the computer networks and what is the result. And to avoid the more time sharing here, you can see that is the kind of situation you can always disable RAG, disable refreshing, and see what will happen. And that is one of our research. And of course, as I said, we have a different model you can choose. You can use RNN, BERT, sentence transformer, and also I have another student, master student, who is trying to create a different kind of transformer, making sure it can learn better. So you can have a different course and so on. So in any way, you can also try it online. You don't need to use this code. You can just go to the training progress dashboard and choose one of the course you want to use. And then you can type the same thing. So that is the same thing, which all connect to the behind scenes situation. That is our service. So you can also see the same result here. So the ChatbotLLM also won the IEEE Northern Canada Sessions Capstone Project Award. The leader developer Supun has won that last year, and we also got one of the paper published.